Hello, everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast synopsis. This audio podcast synopsis as part of Machina edition. This audio podcast synopsis as part of a context broadcast. This audio podcast synopsis as part of a Labostix Biome, and this audio podcast as part of the series as part of a series as part of the abstract series, and looking at and this audio podcast synopsis as part of a Storm Robotics production. In this in this audio podcast there'll be a look at at sort of the abstracts, looking at abstracts in regard to works on works in on outports. We're looking at outport syndrome. In regard to abstracts from an abstract from 2017. Looking at an abstract in regard as part of works in regard to as part of works in regard to hemolytic uremic syndrome. Sort of looking at clinical medicine versus clinical anatomy from works from in around abstracts for an abstract in around from 2017. Looking at looking at looking at an abstract looking at abstract looking at an abstract as part of this series as part of host pathogen communication, and in regard to as part of works an abstract as part of looking at works in regard to a review of sort of the pathology and analysis and sort of approaches in regards to COVID, in regard to aspects of COVID or COVID-19 in amongst those who would be or who are considered in amongst the population as immunocompromised or immunosuppressed, but also where the abstract looks at this in regards to particular pathways in regard to approaches of sort of pharmacotherapy, if you like, aspects of pharmacotherapy in regard to, and as part of a sort of a basis in regards to aspects of pathology and laboratory medicine, aspects of pathology and laboratory medicine, and then looking at an abstract as part of this series, this Machina edition, a series looking at works, an abstract as part of works in regard to looking at social media, looking at social media and discrimination and ignorance, discrimination and ignorance in regards to sort of ignorance and discrimination prevention for those with disabilities and long-standing illnesses or long-term conditions, and works that in regards to as part of an abstract from 2016, and then looking at a sort of abstract from 2018 2018, and looking at an abstract in regards to as part of works surrounding service evaluation for young people suffering with chronic kidney disease, or CKD. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast synopsis as part of a Machina edition. This audio podcast synopsis as part of a Labostix Biome. This audio podcast synopsis as part of a Quantex broadcast. This audio podcast synopsis as part of the abstracts, and this audio podcast synopsis as part of a Storm Labostix production.